Okay, so again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to She Loves Tech Philippines. So my name is Marella, and I'm a content associate for Hubo Innovation Hub. So for those of you who are new here, She Loves Tech is the world's largest pitching competition for women and technology. And in the last 5 years, it has significantly expanded its reach. So this time, they're able to reach an even wider audience because everything is happening virtually. So to expound more on the competition, may I please call on Rhea C, co-founder of She Loves Tech.
Hi, everyone. Hi, I hope everyone can see me and hear me clearly. Let me just quickly share my screen. So, hi again. Hi, everyone. My name's Rhea. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of She Loves Tech. Before anything, I would like to thank everyone who came to support the startups today, the startups themselves for taking time today to pitch, and the rest of the judges and our partners for supporting the entire competition. And of course, our tireless team composed of like Hubo's Carlo, Katrina, Marella, Carla, and more, as well as our program lead, Helena, who's really like, coordinated all of this like competition globally. It's been quite a ride. We're halfway through the competition this year, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing who's going to be winning and representing the Philippine round this year. That being said, what is She Loves Tech? She Loves Tech is the world's largest startup competition for women and technology. We create a global ecosystem for women in technology, providing them with education, mentorship, and also access to strategic resources like funding so that they can take their businesses to the next level and impact at scale. We do all of this with industry-leading partners like corporates, institutions, funds, accelerators, communities, media, ambassadors from all over the world. And we do all of this because we believe that women and the combination of women and technology is the key to solving the world's greatest challenges. Not having women on the table, not having women in this industry is depriving us from some of the most innovative technologies that can help us, move the needle and help those people who otherwise wouldn't have opportunities that technology can bring to them. To date, we are now present in 30 over countries. We've been around for 6 years now, and we've had 2,000 over alumni startups, some of which have raised over 100 million worth of funding, reaching $1 billion worth of media impressions. This year is especially exciting for us. Not only have we taken finally the competition to 6 continents, we're going virtual for the first time as well, which, as our host previously mentioned, allows us to reach a wider audience and hopefully, bring this conversation and this important cause to more people as well. This year, because of the online nature of the competition, our competition is more global than ever. So our upcoming bootcamp, semifinals, finals, and global conference, which the winner today will be participating in, will be more global than ever. We will be curating a unique window of sessions, providing the SARS access to different ecosystems from all over the world: US, China, Israel, Southeast Asia, whereas in the past we'd have to choose every time each year, bringing them to a physical location. This year, we're able to do all of that and curate all of that into a very intense and jam-packed session that the startup today will be able to take advantage of, as well as the startups who will be winning all of the different rounds. So I hope that everyone today, startup or not, everyone, audiences, enthusiasts, and all of the supporters today can join us and continue to follow the rest of the competition until the conference on November 21st, 22nd. All the content that we'll be creating this year is not just for the startups, it's also for everyone. Hopefully we can build this tomorrow together and curate more wonderful technologies and startups that can help all of us, especially during this time of COVID, where we are all finally realizing what our core needs are. Before I hand back the mic to our host, I'd like to maybe share a few clips from our finals last year. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Loves Tech 2019. You are now a part of the largest women in tech startup competition in the world.
Over 80% of our 70,000 teachers are female, and I just feel fortunate that I'm working with them every day. Today, they are working on this innovative technology platform. The moms, now they feel so happy with this global teaching service that they're able to obtain on a VIP Kit platform.
很多女性的创业者身上看到很多的闪光的地方，这是不是一个好的创业者，跟他其实是男性女性没有关系，也不要去贴这样的标签。每个时代都会有自己的创业公司，只不过它用不同的形式在存在。其实今天只需要你，不光是有自己一个 truly believe 的想法，有一个 vision， 你还得有 step by step， 每件事情都做到对的这样的一个执行力。
So back to you, Marilla.
Okay, thanks for that, Rhea. So before we move on with the competition, we'd just like to make a quick introduction and tell you a bit about Kubo Innovation Hub. With us today is our Executive Director, Katrina Chan. So I now call on Kat to present.
Yes, thank you so much, Marilla. And I am still hungover from a virtual background of another event. So there you go. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us today and welcome to the Philippine leg of She Loves Tech 2020 again. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about Kubo. Normally the physical host of this event for the past couple of years. So as you know, Kubo actually stands for the Bahay Kubo, a very Filipino thing, the garage, the starting place and humble home of startups in the Philippines. And we're inspired and are motivated by Bayanihan or teamwork. In the next slide, please. Kubo is a public-private partnership. We were brought together by the Idea Space Foundation and JP Morgan from the private sector, as well as the Department of Science and Technology and the Department of Trade and Industry from the government. We work with startups across stages and across sectors. And again, we're very open to collaborating with all of you. Next slide, please. We work with hundreds of partners now in the last 4 years. We've had the privilege to also, and again, thank you again, Rhea and She Loves Tech for being one of our collaborators, and work with organizations that really share our vision to want to help startups, right? So we hope that you'll reach out to us and our partners to be able to access the networks and resources that you might need to help your businesses grow. Next, please. We have 3 core actions at Kubo: to grow the startup community, to develop our Philippine startups, and to collaborate and build on our startup ecosystem. In the next slide, you'll see some of the programs that fall under each bucket. In our Grow pillar, these are all of our activities around improving capacity and helping startups helping the community learn more about startups and get the basics. We do a lot of networking events and even in a roadshow where we bring our activities to communities all around the Philippines. I'm glad to announce that this year we're still doing this online, and we look forward to joining you with your hometown heroes in various places through our screens and safely and social distanced manner. We also develop our startups. So I hope that all of our participants today have signed up to this Kubo community where you'll have access to, mentorship sessions, workshops, and opportunities like this also, right? To, be part of a larger network through some of our startup delegations. Last but not the least, again, it's really a huge effort to bring our whole startup ecosystem together. I'm very glad that our judges and community partners have joined us in this effort in terms of, mapping different startup activities, connecting startups with investors and corporates, and even developing other incubators, which we're doing with the DOST and our DOST TBI 4.0 program. So, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't speak about Startup Pinay today, one of my favorite projects, and also, and She Loves Tech has been sort of a pillar of this growing movement that we're putting together at Kubo. So, as I mentioned, She Loves Tech. Again, thank you, She Loves Tech, for being one of the key supporters in this. She Loves Tech has provided so many opportunities for startups to be exposed, not just through their bootcamp, but even through, conferences, mentors that they've provided through their network. And, we're happy to also showcase and highlight the winners of today's She Loves Tech in, media features and things like that, and do our best for you to help, raise awareness about the amazing things that our Pinay startups are doing. So, again, lots to look forward to in terms of activities, exposure, opportunities to build your network. And we really hope that all of you engage with the Startup Pinay community. Next, please. So I guess this is my last slide, and I always like to end with this sentiment, right? Like at Kubo, we really believe in that through bayanihan, through working together, we can create the next generation of Filipino startups that change the world. I am very excited to hear all of your pitches today. I thank all of you for joining and for participating and for, building these ideas, these startups, right, that can really change everything, not just for women, but for everybody. So congratulations to all of our finalists, and good luck. And yeah, I'm really excited about this year's competition. I hope everyone stays safe. Back to you, Marilla. Thank you.
Thanks, Kat. Okay, so as Kat mentioned earlier, Kubo actively supports women through our Startup Pinay program, and this is why we continue to work with She Loves Tech year after year. So to give us a program overview, may I now call on Carlo Delantar, Program Lead for Startup Community.
Hey Marla, thank you so much for the introduction. Again, guys, I'm here just to give a quick overview of what's going to happen for today. And I think I've already introduced this. I told you all of this, what's going to happen, all of these things that we want to do for today's session. But just to do a recap, can we move on to the next slide? I just want to say special thanks as well as the special thanks to our mentors who've helped all of the She Loves Tech finalists improve their pitches, improve their overall decks, and improve their overall startups as well. Some of these are Yando, Joseph De Leon, Artie Lopez, as well as John Aguilar and Carlo Colamon. So these are the 5 mentors who've been helping our startups, our finalists in She Loves Tech, improve their pitches, improve their overall startup, their startup strategies, and all of these things. So I just want to give them a special thank you, a special shout out. Aside from that, I just want to say thank you to all the startups also who are here, who participated. We did schedule some with you guys early in the morning because those were the only available time with the startup judges, startup mentors. So I do really appreciate all of you guys waking up early, having mentored by them, talking to them. Some startups even pursued them even after the mentorship program, even after the mentorship session. All of you guys start emailing your respective mentors, asking them to have another session so you guys can have more than one session. So I was really surprised. I was really happy that you guys were really willing to learn, to improve your startups. I was also super happy with all our mentors who, even though we only agreed to have one mentorship session, some of them ended up having 2 or more mentorship sessions to improve their pitch, right? So I'm really happy with that, and I'm really looking forward to all of your pitches. So thank you so much for all of you guys participating in that. Aside from that, I also want to give a special thank you to all our community partners. Without them, we wouldn't have reached all of the startups who are participating today. So again, I just want to say thank you to BrainSpark, Gobi Partners, DTI, Main, Patamar Capital, SparkUp, Startup Village, Final Pitch, and Villgro. Without you guys, we weren't able to organize this properly. We won't be able to get as many applicants, as many startups who applied for She Loves Tech, as well as even you guys helping mentor the startups for She Loves Tech. So I just want to give a brief background, a brief overview of what's going to happen for today's session. So again, for today, what's going to happen is all of our startups have already had their pre-recorded pitches. So it's a 5-minute pre-recorded pitch. So for the judges, they'll have for the startups, we'll play first the 5-minute pre-recorded pitch. Then after we play that, we will be calling the startup founders to please unmute themselves and show their video so we can see them. Then we'll start and move on to the 5-minute question and answer portion for the judges to ask any questions that they want or clarify in their startup's pitch deck. Just for the startups, to give you a heads up also, we have your pitch decks. We collected all of them, as we mentioned before. So even after the video recorded is done, you can still refer to your slides. So just let us know which slide you want to refer to, and we'll go to that slide if you want, if that will help you answer the questions of the judges. Next slide, please. So again, for today, the startups who are pitching will be judged by these criteria. So again, we will be judging your startup based on your product and innovation, market opportunity, your traction, team, and growth and stability. So we did give you guys all of this information. So we told you to try as much as possible to highlight these criteria in your pitch deck. So hopefully we'll be able to see that later in your pitches as well. So as for the prizes, again, we had one that we were supported by DTI once again. So thank you, special thanks to DTI once again for supporting one of the prizes for today's competition. So aside from being part of the bootcamp, the prizes also for the She Loves Tech winner, for the She Loves Tech winners, is that they'll get 2 tickets to Web Summit. So the winner will get 2 tickets to be able to attend the online conference of Web Summit. Aside from that, we also have these prizes. The main prize that we've always been sharing about, that She Loves Tech has always been helping with our startups, with the local round winners, local round finalists, is that first and foremost, if you win this local round, you'll attend their high-level bootcamp. Again, it's one of the best bootcamps that it's highly regarded. A lot of people have talked about it. Help them accelerate their growth, help them improve their startups. So the winners will be able to attend that high-level bootcamp. Aside from that, you'll be able to network with leading ecosystem leading ecosystem mentors and investors in China and all over She Loves Tech's network. Aside from that, one last thing is that if you get the chance also to pitch on the final stage of She Loves Tech conference, where you get to have a chance to win 15,000 worth of equity-free funding. So these are just in store for the winners. Again, hopefully all of you guys will do your best to pitch and participate so that you guys can win these prizes from She Loves Tech as well as from DTI. So I think that's it. Marella, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Carlo. Okay, so next, we hope all the startups are ready. This is the order in which the startups will be presenting today. So first we have Edufied, and then Interluken, and then Nanolabs, and then after them, Reach 52. And then we'll be dividing the pitching into 2 sections. So after those 4, we'll have a 5-minute break. And then we'll move on to Checkmate, Unawa, Sukiplus, Light of Hope, and Grocergenie. Okay, so of course, before we begin, we'd like to introduce everyone to our judges for this afternoon. So judges, when I call your name, can you please briefly say hi to everyone and make a quick introduction to the audience? So first, of course, we have Katrina Chan, the Executive Director of Cuba Innovation Hub.
Hi, everyone. I already said hi earlier, but great to be here.
Yeah, hi again, Kat. So next we have Carlo Delantar, Head of Circular Economy of Gobi Ventures.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Carlo Delantar, representing Gobi Partners.
Thank you. And then again, we also have Rhea C, co-founder of She Loves Tech.
Same with Katrina. I've already said hello, but hi again.
Next, we have James Lette, Executive Director of Maine. James, could you...
Hi, everyone. Just looking forward to hearing your pitches. Good luck.
Thank you. And lastly, of course, we have Priya Thachadi, co-founder and CEO of Villgro.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good luck to you. Excited to, be back and engage with She Loves Tech. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. So thank you to our judges. So now Next slide, please. Okay, so it is finally the moment you've all been waiting for. So we'll be dividing, as mentioned earlier, we'll be dividing the pitches into two sections. So first we'll have the first four pitches. So for the startups, well, like when I call on your name, kindly turn on your microphone, camera, and as Carlo mentioned earlier, you'll be having 5 minutes for your pre-recorded pitch and 5 minutes for your Q&A sessions with the judges. So is everyone ready? Okay, I see people nodding. So now I'll call on Edufied to give their presentation.
Hi, I'm Ryan, Chief Executive and Founder for Edufied. Have you ever wondered when you receive a document wondering whether it's genuine or not? Edufied, we are a tamper-proof document issuance and verification system. We are SaaS for issuing authority to issue tamper-proof verifiable document to recipient, allowing them to store and share them securely from the digital wallet. As a requester, someone holding a document, now we can simply just scan a QR code to be able to verify this document. There have always been disconnect between education and employment. Why? Because records is actually being stored over by different stakeholders and stored in different systems. And today, if you want to actually retrieve this information, you need to go to different agencies to retrieve this information. In short, records are over. And that's probably why you can go in and out within 30 minutes, get any document from a street in Philippines itself. That's where Edufied comes in. We are a tamper-proof digital wallet, empowering the learners with digital credential, allowing them to also unlock their lifelong learning, able to chart their skills and career pathway. And we know today people travel from point A to point B, from country to country, and we are actually thinking of bringing along whole stack of physical documents. No, just imagine if you lose one of the important documents, the time and money that you actually have to spend to retrieve them. But our approach is an ecosystem-first approach. We are here to build a community of issuing authority and having our machine-readable system to work with different management systems and to translate information here and there. Eventually helping individuals to transit from school to school, school to workforce, and between workforce itself. Now we are proud to actually say that our digital certificates enable a graduate to get their first job, and employer is already acknowledging the digital document issued by Edufied. The next question to ask us is actually, who lead the digital transformation in company? Is it any of the CXO? The answer is no. In fact, COVID-19 has speed up the digital transformation, which originally took 5 years, down to a short 6 months. Now we are here to ride the digital transformation wave as well. Our strategy roadmap itself is divided into 3 phases. First phase is just purely focusing on issuance, just like any SaaS model like Office 365. So just imagine approaching an issuing authority, a school or university with 10,000 students. Every year they probably graduate 3,000 of them. So in other words, every year they give me 3,000 new users. This is also what we call an evergreen end user acquisition. Moving forward, these graduates eventually will be equipped what we call a smart CV and building their academic and training passport. Because why? Every 2 to 3 years, they'll come back to our system to populate more information. This is also where we are able to anonymize this information to pass back to the issuing authority, because they would like to know how well the graduate is moving forward, like 2 to 3 years, are they getting a PhD, a master, or potentially working for Facebook or Google. And phase 3, we are talking about microcharging, because we're talking about data is the new Bitcoin. Our business model during phase 1, we are talking about issuance basis, charging up to about $2 validation, $1, and of course the subscription fee for gateway. Similarly, that's our tagline: certified, verified, dignified. What is our market opportunity? We are currently very niche in terms of education and training sector, and now I'm proud to say that we already have well-known clients like AMA and FINMA and PMMA. Okay, our key market is we're focusing just on ASEAN with a target market size of about 650 million, and with a tamper-proof issuance model, we are able to grow into different sectors, and that translates us into high growth ventures itself. Now, having operated for the past 18 months, we are proud to say that we actually have about 50,000 committed issuance now into 2 countries. Moving forward in the next 5 years, we are targeting about 9 countries, and of course having an issuer authority about 4,500 of them. We already have corporate clients asking us whether we have more university partners in Philippines. And this is our team. Myself, I've been in the education industry for the past 12 years, and this, in fact, will be my unfair advantage. Pradav is my co-founder, CTO in blockchain, having 6 years of experience. Gage, she's my co-founder, head of product, having 6 years of management experience. Marat, INSEAD MBA, spearheading my maritime industry. And currently now we have market presence in more than 5 countries. So in short, that's where Edufied is: certified, verified, dignified, be Edufied today. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Ryan and the Edufied team.
Yes,
I now call on the founders for the 5-minute Q&A session with the judges. So judges, if anyone has any questions, you may ask Edufied.
Hi, Ryan. This is Cal.
Hi.
Thanks for the presentation, or that recording of that presentation. I did want to ask, like, do you have any data around or any information around, you know, how your particular solution directly impacts women, or, you know, how your team is leading women in tech, since that is sort of a theme for this competition?
All right. From the impact perspective wise, I guess what we want to do is really allow a female basically to be able to acknowledge through their credential acknowledgement. All right, and the most important thing is actually through our credentialing or micro credentialing, stackable credential aspects of things, they are able to chart their own career pathway. I think empowering the learner from a female perspective wise, that's a very powerful thing. Where unlike now currently, we do not probably have a proper career pathway that's being charted on our own. So what we aim to do is really about empowering learner, female in these particular aspects of things, to be able to get them to know, if I want to learn a certain aspect of skill set, what I need to do. If I take the first step of level 1, what's next for the level 2? And that's all these credentials will be required to be logged into the digital wallet so that they can actually store them and share them accordingly, at the same time chart their own career pathway.
Thank you for that answer.
Maybe I can go next. I see that James also wants to ask a question. I'm just trying to understand, you know, the value proposition and, you know, the revenue model. I saw that it's a, you know, it's a base fee, right? You had those 3, but that is kind of a fairly long period of time for a user to come back and go to the next stage, right? So that means, right, is your strategy right now really focusing on that first piece, which is that $2 subscription fee? Can you give us a sense of, you know, how that's been? I'm trying to think about, you know, the financial sustainability of the business and how long it takes for someone to become a recurring customer. So can you explain that a little bit?
All right, sure. Okay, that will be slide 10. You can show the full slide 10. Thank you. Okay, so from yes, I do agree in terms of, that's why what we aim to do is that on our phase 1 itself is a B2B model, meaning that on the issuing authority like university, the business model is acquiring them one time. Like say, for example, as mentioned earlier on, they have 10,000 students. Every year, they have 3,000 graduates. So which means that every year they are giving me 3,000 new users, which means they are paying me 3,000 every year in that perspective. So that is what we call an evergreen end user strategy. So from this phase 1, there's a large base of universities. Obviously in Philippines, there's close to about 2,000 of them. And that's where we are talking about the first phase of just purely looking at it. So second phase and third phase basically is monetization towards the end user, the recipient holding on to the credential. So that is particularly talking very much in terms of a second tier model of monetization. So I don't think it's going to be long, but we are talking about different revenue streams stacking on top, rather than coming back, having the recurring income is long. No, the recurring income is actually on an annual basis.
Okay, so that the phase 1 and bringing those universities on board is really the priority, because then they have students graduating every year and they partner with you to certify or verify.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, we have time for one more question.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about your competitors. I have seen, I would say, like several startups or technologies that also focus on digital like documents like this, right? Whether it's like certificates or like contracts and so on. So what is your value proposition? Like, how are you different from some of these existing players, especially that some of them are actually large corporates, right? So I believe that Microsoft has something like this as well. And so do other, larger corporates.
Okay. I think one of the key strength that we have is really much in terms of focusing on the education first approach and looking at the ability to look at Philippines as a key market. So our approach is really more talking about a countrywide, a global-wide approach that we're talking about, but very much in terms of country focus, so that during the phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 is very much country-centric. We are going in depth rather than going in width. And in terms of country expansion, while we are focusing on Philippines, our next country that we aim to go into is actually Indonesia. So ASEAN is typically our key market, and we are focusing on developing countries which have the need for, as we know, fake credentials is actually a known thing in developing countries. So that is the target segment that we're talking about. So I think the approach on capturing the market gap is where our strength and niche is going to be. And going into the in-depth to make sure the engagement is much deeper and higher will be the things that we're looking at.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ryan. So that was our first startup for today, Edufied. Next up, we have Interluken to give their presentation.
A study conducted by ADB in developing countries such as Philippines found out in the year 2015 alone, 3 out of 5 patients died due to poor quality care. And this data could be worsening this year because of the pandemic. Product availability impacts the productivity of health workers when medicines and other essential supplies fail to arrive at a health facility. Patients and even healthcare workers also turn to informal pharmacies and medical distribution channels online, which might offer unregulated, ineffective, and unsafe for them. Medical supplies distribution has been existing for more than 50 years in the Philippines, and yet up to date, there is no efficient, trusted way to find and transact online to registered medical suppliers in the country. Purchasing officers' daily routine is to individually search and source out suppliers' contact information via online, do daily phone calls and emails for their product inquiries. This part takes most of their time because it takes to about an average of 24 to 48 hours for the supplier to respond to their inquiry. If they cannot get a response after 48 hours, they ended up getting the readily available product, which is of poor quality. Our solution is to provide a real-time access for hospitals and clinics to inventory and pricing of registered medical suppliers in the country, reducing the long transaction time between suppliers and purchasing officers. Introducing Interluken, a cloud-based web platform that creates a seamless medical supply transaction deals, contributing efficiency to supply chains of hospitals and clinics. Our buyers will be confident to search, compare, negotiate, and process orders in just minutes. Our job is to meticulously assess and validate the government-issued licenses of a supplier and check their capability to supply quality products by providing certifications and test reports of each product they put in the platform, providing confidence, convenience, and contribution to quality of the healthcare system. Foreign medical device manufacturers get a local partner distributor to sell their brands. And almost 90% of these local distributors have no online presence to be readily available to attend the needs of the hospitals. And 80% of purchasing officers complain about the response time of the suppliers to process their orders and delivery of items, causing delays in treatment to their patients. Having said that, Interluken will cater levels 2 and 3 hospitals and clinics as buyers, whereas we target medium to large-scale local medical suppliers in the country, getting an estimate of 20% of the market for both clienteles. By gradually getting SMEs to transact with us via online, while some private hospitals have started to adopt transacting online to their suppliers, We committed to have a gradual growth in network in which we are projecting 20% growth by the end of 2020. The revenue model is simple. We will get 2% of the total amount of purchase order placed by each buyer to every supplier they have selected in Interluken to fulfill their medical supply needs. In order for us to achieve a $2.4 million revenue in 12 months, we will need 1,000 buyers with at least $10,000 in sales transaction on a monthly basis. Our competitive advantage, we are a focused B2B e-commerce platform, gathering only registered medical suppliers and hospital buyers in the country. Interluken will seamlessly link to the inventory data of suppliers, have the visibility on the arrival and expiry of stocks, having the benefit of fair pricing for same brands, and a 24/7 customer sales representative to provide product knowledge and marketing tools for the buyers. And lastly, my dedicated team who has accumulated 20+ years of experience in medical device sales and hospital supply chain. And my tech team who are extremely passionate to put in their time to combine their expertise in development, design, and data analytics for the benefit of the country's public health. Building Interluken became a new hope for me, for my former colleagues in the hospital. As I reflect in our life's journey, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. So let's scrap the dream, believe, survive mentality and start to act, adapt, and thrive for a healthier place to live in. Once again, Interluken, linking seamless medical supply deals.
Thank you for that. So now may I please call on the Interluken team for your Q&A session. Okay, so judges, if anyone wants to start.
I have about 4 questions, but I won't ask them all, being the timing. My key, I'll ask 2 of them. My key one was, how would you deal with disintermediation, that people, once they've placed one order on your site, then bypass it for the following orders? And the other one is, it suggests to me that you're giving some sort of guarantee of quality. Are you doing that? I mean, you're putting up the certifications or whatever certificates they have for their products. If someone doesn't deliver in line with that, do you provide any service, or how do you handle that?
Based from my experience as a medical representative or a supplier as well, what we do traditionally in the current system of the procurement between hospitals and as a supplier, we for the validation of the products that we are supplying, hospitals are always asking for product certifications, test reports, clinical studies, those things. So what we will be doing in Interluken is that suppliers should be able to provide that for every product that they will be marketing on our platform, so that our hospitals will not have that time to follow up or do phone calls or emails to the suppliers to submit that after the delivery of the product or before the delivery, or sometimes suppliers before have to give that certifications or that product when there is a accreditation that will happen only in the hospital. So that will be a real-time access for the hospital with Interluken for them to upload all those documents, and we will verify that, of course, by checking that on those partner companies that will be doing that test reports. For example, SGS. So SGS, they are the third party doing test reports of those medical supplies, those things.
I'll open the floor to others.
Uh-huh.
Unless you want to deal with the second question. So.
Yeah. The other question, because it's
sorry, disintermediation. So people bypassing your site after they've used it once.
Oh yeah. That's actually one of the main topic that we are strategizing how we will be able to put that them in place in the system, and they will not go back to the traditional one, right? And we will be offering services that is not that for one is, of course, we're offering convenience. Other than that, we'll be offering the other features that we will be that they are not experiencing right now on their traditional processes. For example, on the supplier side, the added feature that they can get to Interluken so that they will not go or bypass in the system is that we're offering inventory management system and integration on their system to book their orders, because currently the suppliers are just using Microsoft Excel or Google Sheet just to monitor their inventory, and the hospital buyers have no visibility on that. On the side of the hospital buyers, the reason the purpose that they cannot go bypass on the system is that we can actually integrate on one system. They can connect everything to all those suppliers, wherein in traditional manner they do phone calls, like they do a lot of Viber groups for all their suppliers just to connect with them, and doing massive emails. So everything will be done inside the Interluken, which will provide convenience to them so that they will not get on that. Another thing, another feature that we will be giving to our hospital so that they will not bypass is that a directory wherein suppliers directory, all the legitimate suppliers directory, they can find it there. Because traditionally, they are just doing Google search or
Right.
getting
Thank you.
Can you share a bit about your current traction and also the level of product development that's existing as of today?
Yeah. On my traction side, yes. Yeah. So we started as a B2C platform, and it's actually a testing platform we did just to know how much will this hospital buyers will adapt on the technology on doing e-commerce with in terms of medical supplies, because there is really a tendency for them to bypass a technology.
Right.
That's what
So as of October, as of last month, like how many users or how many transactions have occurred through the platform, or since you pivoted, I guess, from B2C to the sort of more hospital-centric model?
Yeah. For the B2C model that we have tested, the subscribers that we have already have 50 buyers on that. 50
Okay.
buyers and medical suppliers. I had partners with on my same network right now for the middle scale suppliers. So I have 10 medical suppliers who are engaging with me to partner with them.
I guess I'm just looking at this graph and your axis was subscribers, but that's not your primary business model. Like, just to clarify, it's a percentage of the transactions occurring on the platform, right?
Yes.
And do you have a figure for that currently, or how has that been doing? Like, how many transactions have you had, or what portion of it is recurring, or anything you can share on that?
Sorry to interrupt. We have like 30 more seconds.
Oh.
So if you answer.
It's not placed on the slide, but I can share it on the B2C side. So I have my transaction already that I did for the B2C part.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, access to healthcare is definitely an issue here. So it is important to have this interconnectivity when it comes to the systems of our suppliers to help our healthcare workers. So yeah, thank you again, Interluken. So next, we have Nanolabs for their presentation.
Have you ever worried if the gadget you are currently using will suddenly explode? Does your phone suddenly heat up? Have you ever wished to have a safe and long-lasting battery? Well, that's what we do. My name is Lynn, and I'm currently the CTO and co-founder of Nanolabs LRC. I am a PhD in material science engineering, specializing in the improvement of rechargeable batteries. Who could forget the 2016 Samsung Galaxy Note 7 exploding phone fiasco? Don't get me wrong, I love Samsung. Right after I graduated from the university, I personally worked with Samsung before I pursue my graduate study. I was really shocked after I heard that Samsung issued a global recall of Samsung Galaxy Note 7. During that time, my new Samsung phone was only 1 month old. Though it was not the Galaxy Note 7 model, it really frightened me. What if it suddenly explodes? I keep checking my phone if it will suddenly heat up. But the good news is, it's still intact. So what makes Galaxy Note 7 explode? Well, it all boils down to the battery. So what makes the battery explode? In a typical lithium-ion battery, to produce an energy, it relies on a three component: the positive and the negative electrodes, and the electrolyte, or the liquid part of the battery. The positive and negative electrode is physically separated by a very thin film called the separator. This separator can be as thin as 10 microns. It is like dividing our hair to 10. Imagine, it's so small. So to meet the necessary energy demand and the desired size, the size of this separator was pushed to its limit, and thus results to fractures, and bang, the battery will explode. When the separator was breached or ruptured, it causes short circuit, which sorts the thermal runaway. It means that the temperature inside the battery will reach up to 1000 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine, this temperature can even melt aluminum alloys. Since the liquid part in the lithium-ion battery is very flammable, it causes the battery to explode. So to address this issue, we at Nanolabs are developing a safe, eco-friendly, economical, and sustainable zinc ion battery. This battery is rechargeable, non-flammable since it's not sensitive to moisture, it has high performance, it is non-toxic, and it can be easily recycled. In addition, zinc is 15 times more abundant and 6 times less expensive than lithium. This type of battery is very easy to manufacture. It does not need sophisticated equipment such as vacuum technology. It can even be produced at normal room condition. The coin cell battery market is projected to reach $113.92 billion by 2025. To enter this market, we will partner with battery manufacturers, where we will provide our R&D service to earn $2,000 per month for the service fee alone, with additional 20% royalty from the gross profit if the product has been commercialized. Our competitors will be the R&D from the university and the private companies. So why will the battery manufacturers partner with us? Well, we are already the experts, and we are already knowledgeable about the technology, from the purchasing of the materials and equipment to the development of the zinc ion battery. We are also the pioneer of this technology in the Philippines. We also have a pending patent here in the Philippines for the said technology. Thus, this results to faster go-to-market. Our team is composed of PhDs in material science engineering and BS in electronics and communication engineer. I, together with Ryan Corpus, our CEO, are doing full-time for this venture. Here are our mentors and our research collaborators. We are proud alumni of Y Combinator, Livanes, Investable, and Climate Launchpad, where we met several business mentors. We also received several awards, such as being the grand prize winner in the Tech Plan Demo Day in the Philippines 2019. For our milestone, we already registered our company under SEC last 2019, and at the same time, applied for 3 Philippine patents for our technology in 2019 and 1 additional patent in 2020. We also received a research grant from the UST for 3 years to further develop our technology. If everything goes well, we plan to build our pilot plant in 2021. At Nanolabs, we transcend nano-solution for innovation. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was a presentation of Nanolabs. Now may I call on the founders for your 5-minute Q&A session. So that will start now.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi, I have a question. So your product is highly technical, so pardon for any potential like basic questions, but you mentioned that your particular battery is very easy to manufacture. So a couple questions. First thing is, if it's very easy to manufacture, why wouldn't other people do it? Second, are there any other batteries that are using the same sort of technology or same material currently on the market here in the Philippines or outside of the Philippines?
Okay, so for your thank you for your wonderful question. So zinc ion battery is really easy to manufacture. We can easily produce it at room condition without using any glove box or any vacuum technology. So for that one, it is initially, zinc ion battery is initially produced or mass produced for as a primary battery or not rechargeable battery. So that's the initial application. It's been recently that it was observed that through research that it can be utilized as a rechargeable battery. So in just around a year or two, it's just started to be produced as rechargeable battery. So for our competitors, there's already some startups abroad or from other countries that manufacture this one, though what they produce is more expensive. The chemicals or the materials that they use are more expensive than what we are currently using. And at the same time, our battery uses a binder-free electrode, which means that we no longer use any polymer inside that make it more eco-friendly or non-toxic to the environment.
Hi, Lynn. Maybe I'll go next. Very excited to see this product, and I think to have some innovations coming out of the Philippines would be fabulous. So, just kind of curious, taking off from what Rhea was saying, how soon can this hit the market? And just thinking about, because this could be in multiple devices, multiple applications, right? What is your focus, and who would be kind of the main target market? Because pilot plant is quite a big investment and a big shift, right? So what do you have lined up that kind of calls for that kind of production?
Okay, thank you for your question. So we already have an existing 4 patents for this technology. So for patents here in the Philippines, for pending patent applications here in the Philippines for this technology. And then for our plant, for that to go to the market, so we plan to partner with several battery manufacturers and electronic companies to expedite our process to produce this zinc ion battery.
Okay, so we still have 2 minutes.
Can I ask
So
a question?
yeah, sure.
Sure. Like everybody was saying, it's a very technical type of startup. The thing of manufacturing these batteries is you have to go through. Well, okay, sure, you have patented batteries, but outside of patents, it's really the market opportunity and the traction for it to be commercialized would mean working with manufacturers, working with brands to actually get exclusive access to this, right? So my question is, in your team, all your team members are more technical. Who would be handling the relations, or at least for the business relations to grow the startup?
So for the business part, we already have several business mentors that we met through our to several boot camps, and as well as our CEO is currently having some what's it called, this one, have already finished his what's this one, collaboration with uh, with one manufacturers in the okay, so for our CEO, also these are our business mentors, so we already met them through our boot camps, and then we already have our CEO is currently doing some collaboration or service with 4 labs in China. So I think we can already compete with that one.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for Nanolabs. So thanks again. That was very informative, especially since we're all practically glued to our phones right now and we're all looking for more sustainable ways of living as well. So yeah, thank you. Next, we have Reach 52 for your presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Lijen and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Reach 52. Reach 52 is a social enterprise that aims to help underserved communities get access to healthcare through empowering women with technology. 52% of the world can't access traditional healthcare services. This means that close to 3.7 billion people are not connected to primary care services. I think some of the main problems that result from this is firstly distance. A lot of the rural communities we work with are situated 1 to 2 hours away from the town proper. Even if they travel to the town to visit hospitals, the doctors are sometimes not available to see them. Some of the patients also do not have access to the medications because of drug stockouts at the local or provincial clinics. What Reach 52 aims to do is to, through innovative ways, try to address these problems. I think firstly, we have developed a range of apps that are able to work both online and offline. The apps empowers the women to go to their neighbors, understand what they need, and help them order medicines, insurance policies, and connect them to services. The apps also allow the women to capture data that are important to understand how their community gaps are and where we can come in to drive programs that fulfill these needs. We also have an e-learning platform called MediConnect that allows barangay health workers or community health workers to access different types of educational materials, including COVID-19, how to manage your diabetes and hypertension. These materials can work both online and offline, and the health workers can access them even when they have no internet connection. Reach 52 connects underserved economies through our social business model. So we work very closely with business and governments alike. With businesses, we have arrangements with large pharmaceutical companies such as Sandoz, Gilead, Novartis, to have discounted medicines negotiated at a cheaper rate, and then we transfer this cost savings to the communities. We also work with large insurers to tailor micro-insurance plans that cater to the needs of the residents. We work with governments and NGO partners to scale our operations as well as our footprint on the ground. We are able to drive SDG 3, 5, and 8 to promote good health and well-being, gender equality, as well as decent work and economic growth. We earn revenue through 3 main diversified channels. The first is our marketplace, where we earn a 20 to 30% commission of the products and services, or we charge a small $1 to $2 delivery fee to deliver medicines to the doorsteps of our residents. We also make money through business subscriptions as well as research and sponsored programs. Some of the research and sponsored programs are very focused on women and promoting maternal and child health. One of the examples is with the Save the Children, which we recently completed. We work to provide telehealth support to pregnant women in Manila when they are not able to visit the hospitals during the COVID-19 lockdown. We also partner with Philips to use their portable ultrasound device and coach barangay health workers on how to use these devices in the community. So they're able to take photo images and then share them with the local health doctors. This allows us to be aware of high-risk pregnancies and then link these women up to care. Our proven end-to-end solution for rural communities creates social impact by improving both health outcomes as well as generating cost savings. This is particularly unique, and we are not able to see any other competitors that operate amongst the whole spectrum of services that we are able to provide, from insights to programs, marketplace, as well as last mile logistics. Overall, our programs are very centered on women. We have created more than 400 jobs, providing an alternative income sources for these women that we empower. More than 97% of our community managers are trained and equipped with the Reach 52 apps, and the majority of recipients and beneficiaries of our health projects are also women. Currently, we are in Philippines, Cambodia, and India, but we're also looking to scale rapidly to Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar, as well as Bangladesh. We are going to scale through our growth partners as well as NGOs as implementation partners on the ground, and scale our footprint through social media, including Facebook ads and chatbots. By 2030, we aim to connect 250 million people in low and middle income countries to essential health products and services. We have a very passionate C-suite team, which brings deep experience across various sectors, ranging from health, tech, strategy, marketing, and operations. And we look forward to your support. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So may now call on the founders of Reach 52. So you'll be having your 5-minute Q&A session.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, so I see Carlo raising his hand.
Hi.
Hi,
Good
Carlo.
presentation. Hi. Just wanted to know your traction so far. You said 400 jobs. How are you sort of fragmenting that in different parts of those 3 countries that you mentioned?
Yeah, so I think in Philippines, we have been there since 3 years ago. So I think we have been growing quite steadily. For Cambodia, we really launched a marketplace in the last 6 months. I think overall, in terms of the traction, we have scaled quite rapidly. I think we have looked at about 20, we sold about 20, 30, 50 products at the beginning of the month. As of the last month, we sold close to 2,000 products. So in terms of traction, we are really gaining quite a big user base. In terms of employment, I think India is currently our largest market. So we are scaling through partnering with NGOs. India, we have 2 large NGOs. So we recruit through their current list of beneficiaries. I think it's very complementary as well as efficient in terms of our time that we take to onboard these market area managers and create jobs for the women within the community.
Can I follow that on with a clarification? Is your revenue at the moment mainly from partnerships and grants rather than sales?
Yes, I think now how we split it right now is it's true that we are more partnerships and grants focused at this point in time. So the split is about 20% to 80%, whereas 80% is through the grants, sponsored programs and research that we do for our partners. 20% comes from marketplace revenue, but we are trying to grow the recurring revenue stream because we recognize that projects and grants is more one-off. So really looking to grow marketplace, our e-commerce platform, both online and offline. Right now, we have about 750 products on our platform, but we're looking to increase them to about 2,000 products by the end of Q4.
And I guess just to follow up on that a bit, so from a development perspective, does that mean you develop like a bespoke kind of system for each of your grant projects? Or is it all kind of funneled into the same app?
I think we try to not customize the solutions too much because it then makes us not scalable. But for certain programs, so for example, we are running one with Medtronic and Biocon right now. So it's a diabetes program whereby we include like a chronic disease management angle. So there's health screening, tracking their health records. So this is built into our apps already. But on top of that, we are also looking to integrate the marketplace. So for residents that have diabetes or hypertension, we're looking to sell them insulin at a much discounted price, almost 50% cost savings to what they could get right now from the public health system. And this is then integrated into the app. So the patient would then come in, log their health readings through their rapid diagnostic tests for their insulin readings, and increasingly then we will be able to share with them and they can order the medicines through the apps. So,
and this is all the same app across the country?
So we have different types of apps. I think we have 2 main apps that we built on, but in the different countries, we just change the language, so it's a bit more scalable. So in India, we would have Hindi, in Cambodia, it would be in Khmer, in Philippines, it will be in Hiligaynon, and in Tagalog, as well as English.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Maybe just a quick question on, just zooming in a little bit on the Philippines, connecting back to what Carlo was asking earlier. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of your expansion plans here? I've seen, the amazing work that you've been doing in India and the pivot during COVID, etc.
Yeah.
But can you just tell us a little bit about the focus and the expansion strategy here?
So right now we are in North Luzon as well as in Western Visayas. I think we are looking at scaling into different municipalities, also to work with different NGO partners. So we are looking at working in Palawan, as well as other areas of Philippines. So I think really like firstly, growing our marketplace, including more products onto our platform, and then scaling through government partnerships, which has stalled a little bit admittedly due to COVID, but definitely we are trying to pick up pace again in Q4.
Thank you. So we have time for one more question actually. So if anyone has a question.
Yeah, I've got a lot. I'd love to know a lot more, Lee Jen. It's very interesting. It's I mean, you've used grants and partnerships to build a user base, and now you've got to work out how to monetize it. But which of those? I mean, it seems like you're trying to do everything at once. But is there one of those that you think you should focus on first? You know, instead of rolling out insurance or logistics, should you focus any particular aspect of your business?
I think it's quite hard to, I think it's a really good question. I think it's quite hard to say, let's focus only on one product, because I think we see it as a holistic solution, because as a healthcare, we really want to bring affordable healthcare and products and services. So I think medicines is an integral part of the supply chain, and delivering it to the doorsteps of the residents in rural communities is really the problem that we are trying to solve here. So that's why you notice we are not in big towns and cities. We are actually working in communities that are 1-2 hours away from the town, where where it's harder for them to get access to care. But we look at it complementing it with, for example, microinsurance, because that makes the whole healthcare more affordable to the residents that we serve. Yeah, so I think really, if you ask me like which is the key thing, then making this marketplace model work and making it financially sustainable would be one of the key focus areas for us.
And on that, do you have the data? Can you break down like the business metrics? Do you know which is your most profitable stream and things like that?
Yeah. So I think really like insurance would be the most profitable product out of everything. It's just because, if we reach out to a whole village of 1,000 or 2,000 people, it would be most likely that 80% of them would be interested in some sort of an insurance protection. Whereas if you look at just marketplace, medicines marketplace, then it would really be people who are a bit older, who cannot travel as easily to the towns. So then probably only 10-20% of them have a chronic condition like diabetes or hypertension that requires a regular maintenance medicine. So the pool of potential patients would be much smaller, like maybe 10% of a whole village.
Who are you selling Sase insurance for?
Sorry?
Who are you selling insurance on behalf of?
So we work with the larger insurer company. So in Cambodia, it would be Prova and Forte. In Philippines, it would be Microinsure. So we do work with the more reputable insurance companies.
Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
Very interesting.
Okay, so thank you for that, Jen. It was very interesting to hear how Reach of You is empowering women and helping underserved communities through technology. Something definitely important during this pandemic. So, okay, so that was the first half of our She Loves Tech competition. So please don't go yet. Before we proceed to the next 5, we'll be having a quick 5-minute break. So yeah, we'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Okay, so hi again, everyone. Welcome back to She Loves Tech Philippines. We hope everyone is enjoying. So now we're back with the second portion of our pitching session. So the next 5 startups will be presenting their pre-recorded video. So before we begin, again, I'd like to mention that for the startups that you'll be having 5 minutes for your pre-recorded video, 5 minutes for your Q&A with the judges. Okay. So thank you. So our first startup for today is Checkmate.
E-commerce grew by 50% because of the pandemic. This has been great for the struggling economy, but it's been difficult to buy or sell online because there are now so many scammers hiding behind their screens posing as legitimate sellers. Many people, myself included, have been scammed. My friend Chelsea always tried to scrutinize whatever information was available before she bought anything online. Still, she got scammed. Twice. She lost a lot of money and is now too stressed and scared to shop online. Scammers have also victimized sellers like Selena, who I've seen work so hard to provide great products at fair prices, yet somehow, despite all she's invested, she can't seem to generate enough sales. She has to compete with fraudsters who can cheat their way to winning, hiding behind their screens because buyers can't tell the difference between them and legitimate sellers like Selena. This is a problem not just for Chelsea, Selena, you, or me, but a major problem for the 89% of Filipinos that shop online. That's why we built Checkmate. Checkmate is an independent third-party verification body that validates legitimate online sellers through our tech-driven process and algorithmic badge scoring. Checkmate makes the check for you. Buyers can make fair judgment on sellers, while sellers get the recognition they deserve. Badges are awarded to sellers after we validate their data using standardized metrics. The ranked badges indicate the level of legitimacy of a seller, based on their compliance and track record. The specialty badges symbolize special traits of a seller, such as the Knight badge for consumer protection, that validates buyer remedies, complaint resolution, and transactional security. Checkmate badges can be displayed on any sales channel: Shopee, Facebook, Instagram, Viber, you name it. Each badge has a unique seller ID and QR code, which links to the seller directory. You can get Checkmate too. Just apply, validate, and integrate. We're differentiated from the platform-specific verification and B2B accreditation services. Our universality means that sellers only need to apply once to earn a universal score that they can use across all their channels. This allows all online sellers, even MSMEs that are just starting out or operating on social media, to prove legitimacy. In our nearly 2 months of operations, we've received 78 applications and issued 25 badges. We've partnered with Roots Collective, Reach It, and Girl Up Philippines, who have a combined total of around 100 sellers that have also been listed for application. We operate on a freemium model, employing gamification with badge upgrades starting at $2 as our main revenue stream. Registration on Checkmate is free upon initial verification. A seller must top up if they want to upgrade ranking and access premium features. This is the powerhouse team of amazing women founders with over 20 years of collective experience in finance, law, business, IT, and PR. Our global education has been a core strength, with Celine leading a top 1,000 holding company after working as an analyst at BPI, attorney Julia working in the Supreme Court and the Academe, Jana working in data and performance analytics in e-commerce, and Sierra pursuing grad studies for PR at NYU while working for a UN-affiliated NGO. We bring Checkmate to the market through direct engagement in community pages, speaking engagements, and partnerships. Our partnerships have been crucial to our mass conversion of listed sellers and our widespread promotion. We've engaged with buyers through our educational posts, giveaways, and awareness campaigns, reminding them to check for a Checkmate badge. We've been getting attention and positive feedback with e-commerce players affirming the need for Checkmate. Since our launch last July, we have gained initial traction, creating awareness about Checkmate and offering introductory services to sellers. We've started partnerships that allow us to access more seller communities for mass conversion and mutual promotion. We currently have around $2,000 and are closing an angel round of $20,000. We're currently fundraising to increase customer base, boost digital marketing, and implement our tech advancements, which we can expedite through funding. We are proud to be women founders in tech, knowing Checkmate provides a service aimed at benefiting women in e-commerce. We want to play a role in creating success stories for women in business and tech in a country that's still pushing to lead in these areas. Through Checkmate, we hope to enable confidence in every business transaction. Let's build the Checkmate universe and create the Checkmate culture. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for that presentation, Checkmate. Now we'll be having 5 minutes for your Q&A session. So if I may call on a representative from Checkmate. Okay, so judges, if anyone wants to start. Okay, so Carlo.
Hey, thank you for your presentation. Could you run us through your verification process? Is it manual or is it becoming more of a tech proprietary type of service at the moment?
So thanks, Carlo. We're currently doing verification manually to feel the market. Alongside it as well, we are developing the tech to automate the process, employing various types of technology, particularly there. We are currently developing the algorithms as well. Janice can talk about the tech features. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Apologies. She can't talk. But yes, we are developing. We're currently also developing the algorithms.
Yeah, we're currently developing the proprietary technology in order to really automate the process so that we can boost our customer base and improve the speed of our verification. As my sister said earlier, during our initial, because we just had our soft launch in July, late July, and in order to really meet the applicants, we had to undergo manual verification. But we are currently employing our tech migration in order to automate the process.
May I ask if you're working on this full time, or like what's your sort of level of commitment to this endeavor at this point in time?
I think 3 out of 4 of our members are working on it part-time. I'm working on marketing and really public relations on Checkmate full-time. We also have consultants and some staff working on the tech full-time on the product, yeah.
We also have about a team of 5 people doing the verification currently, doing the manual verification.
And I guess where do you want to start in terms of deploying this, right? Like, or where will people start seeing this? Is there a particular platform that you feel would be a strong place to start, or?
So our main, yes, so our main focus right now is really the sole proprietors and the MSMEs who are functioning on social media, because that's the aspect which is really difficult to regulate per se. And you know, if you're an online seller in an established marketplaces, they have their own features. We do hope to integrate with them in the future to provide our third-party verification, but as of right now, in this current moment, we're really targeting those social media sellers who are selling on Instagram and on Viber, on any of those platforms. We call them informal marketplaces. So yeah.
Okay, so if anyone else has questions, we still have like under 2 minutes.
I think Carlo has a question.
Sorry, so Carlo.
So regarding with regards to informal marketplace sellers, in your verification process, do you include tax certifications that they're actually tax-paying sellers? Majority are actually not, so I just want to make sure that's part of your verification.
Do you wanna, or should I? Okay, so we have a badge system, and the level of legitimacy is tiered. So basic level verification of whether a seller exists is our entry level badge. And with each additional document that you provide, which we charge a small verification fee of 100 pesos per document verification, those documents include the tax clearance, if you're DTI registered, if you're SEC, if you have an SEC certificate, depending on the kind of business that you have and depending on the kind of size that you have, those are the kind of things that we look for, especially now that the Internet Transactions Act hasn't gone through and it hasn't been mandated yet for everybody that they have to pursue those kinds of registrations. But we're preparing so that when it does push through, we're able and we have the system in place to accommodate and to help facilitate those verifications.
And do you go beyond that also in terms of, customer experience or whether the products they're selling are legitimate, as opposed to just the sort of government clearances?
Yes, definitely. So we have two kinds of badges. We have the ranked badges and the specialty badges. The specialty badges, there are different kinds, and one really looks into customer satisfaction. One really looks into product legitimacy, whether what you see on the listing is accurate to the actual product you're selling. We really try to provide enough badges to make the business scalable, but also to encompass the user experience, to make sure that you're not just interacting with a legitimate seller, but you're getting the legitimate product and the right quality product.
As a follow-up to that question, how do you verify that? So what do you use to verify the customer satisfaction, like the product, like legitimacy, etc.?
So we look at various data points. So for customer satisfaction, different data points that we are looking at would be customer feedback, as well as the sales engagement, not just feedback that are readily available in the market. So we're currently developing a more digital or a more tech driven approach to verifying that particular aspect. And then we have also product management. So it has to do with inventory management of the seller, as well as, so different input data from both buyers and sellers. So there.
So currently you're relying on, I guess, public data, like customer reviews and such, but I'm assuming like majority, especially if you're focusing on small like internet sellers, you actually don't have a lot of reviews, right? So what happens when you don't have any reviews?
So currently we're evaluating data that are submitted by sellers, publicly available, and buyers/marketplace provided.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So thanks again, Checkmate. Yeah, so thank you for your presentation. I'm sure just, scrolling through our phones, you can see that a lot of people are resorting to online selling now. And it's great that you're trying to create, a safe space that people can trust also. So thank you. Up next, we have our next startup is Unawa. So, presentation.
Hello, I'm Nina Terol, CMO of Onowa, a regtech startup that offers ease of doing business at the fingertips of every Filipino. Meet Chris, a small restaurant owner from Pampanga with 2 small kids. When COVID hit, she was actually qualified for a small business loan, but she needed to physically travel to a bank to fill out forms, wait a couple weeks for approval, then travel back out to submit supporting documents and sign a promissory note. Then she needed to look for an available notary public to close the transaction and access much needed funds to stay afloat. All during the lockdown, all while trying to protect herself and her family from the virus. She couldn't complete everything, so she eventually closed down her resto and faced the uncertainty together with over 1 million Philippine business owners that struggled in the crisis and the rapid need to digitize. We all feel the pain of this new normal, and that's why we're here. Unawa's founding team integrates decades worth of top legal and tech innovation expertise with a global network in 200 countries to help you understand and navigate the terrain and make business clearer, more convenient, cost-efficient, and easier for you to survive and thrive. And we'll start with transforming digital transactions to help you digitize, transact, and protect your business with greater ease. All this is made easier by Onowa's unique digital transaction hub and its 3 complementary products. SafeForm, which digitizes paper forms and simplifies the automation of workflows. It's perfect for all the forms you need on a regular basis. SignSecure, which enables e-signatures and world-class encryption while ensuring that your documents are legally binding in the Philippines. Perfect for contracts and anything that needs your signature. And SignSecure Our Notary, which makes it painless to access remote notarization in case you still need signed paper documents to be notarized. We simplify complexity and enable you to transact digitally and legally so you can build trust, close deals, and generate income faster. In a world that has rapidly gone digital, transforming digital transactions creates great value for small businesses and entire economies alike. It generates up to 80% cost savings per company, gets business done 21 times faster than paper documents, and empowers MSMEs to be part of a $300 billion digital economy, helping entrepreneurs like Chris earn and recover faster and create a better normal. All this is powered by deep tech with user-friendly interfaces, such as AI-powered character and facial recognition with Google AI, real-time process and simplified automation workflows with Activity, and SSI management for secure and tamper-proof digital transactions with Hyperledger Indy. All designed for ease of use, simplicity, and affordability for companies like yours. There's a $16 billion blue ocean in RegTech, driven by the increased cost of compliance, the rising need for faster transactions, the support for RegTech innovation, and lower barriers to entry for software-as-a-service products. From that global market size, we're targeting the over 1 million corporations, MSMEs, and startups that operate under Philippine laws, bringing a SAM of 20.5 billion pesos. Zooming in further to our target market segments in government, legal, finance, healthcare, and real estate, we arrive at our SOM of 1.09 billion pesos. In the past few months, we've run product demos and pilots with these organizations from various sectors. And here's what we've been able to do since we launched SafeForm in April, just 6 months ago. We've realized initial revenue and are running pilots for all 3 products, and we will launch the SaaS version in Q1 2021. Our business model is composed of SaaS for SafeForm and SignSecure and transaction fees for Our Notary. Our other revenue sources will be legal consultation and software customization. We've already booked revenue of 450,000 pesos during ECQ this year, and we operate with a high profit margin of 80 to 83%, aiming to break even by year 3. We're targeting revenue of 211 million pesos by year 5, focused on highly regulated industries and SMEs. 2020 has been tough on all of us, but it clarified Unawa's purpose: to simplify complexity and ease of doing business for every Filipino company so we can all rise together and create a better normal. We invite you to share our mission because by empowering us, you're empowering Chris and over 1 million Filipino companies and the millions of lives that depend on them. We are Onowa, we bring ease of doing business at your fingertips, and we thank you for having us here today.
Okay, thank you, Unawa. Now may I call on the founders for your Q&A session.
I have a couple questions. First question, are there any regulatory sort of policies that you have to deal with the digital notarization? Are there legal barriers or like policies that like will not allow you or allow you to do this? Second thing is, I saw in your presentation that a lot of the technologies that you're using are actually external companies, right? Like so Google, etc. So do you have any proprietary technology that's just yours that you are building yourself? If not, yeah, other people can just like what prevents like other people from just doing this themselves, right? Because the technology is theirs.
If I can just add to Rhea's first question, and then I can. So it's really similar. So at the same question, you know, I'm just wondering, how the legality of e-notary, because, I would love that. And also wondering, you also said about the documentation being digital, right? So that requires certain partnerships, I assume, for, and we know currently that across the multiple government departments, those forms are not available digitally. So how are you going to navigate that?
Yep, we'll answer the first question first. I think our CEO, Attorney Mona de Malanta, is here to be able to answer questions on our notary. It was actually based on a Supreme Court interim ruling that was released just in July. And we had been aware about it, so we started developing the product even before the guidelines were released. So just as the guidelines were released, we were able to pilot the product pretty quickly. But Attorney Mona might be able to add more information about it.
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Just to add on to what Nina had said, the Supreme Court actually issued it August, not July. Although we have been working closely with the Supreme Court, there are a lot of groups working towards pushing for digital notarization. What came out is remote notarization, so not quite what we expected, but still a way forward, a step in the right direction. So we were ready for that. To address the point on digitalization of documents, absolutely correct. There needs to be government partnerships for it, and we have engaged the SEC, the DTI also. There's this corporation that's supposed to extend loans to MSMEs also, SB Corp. We have been discussing with them also. So we recognize that it is indispensable to partner with government institutions and also bank associations. We've made inroads also discussing this with the Bankers Association of the Philippines and the some rural banks in the Philippines. So that's absolutely necessary. In terms of the regulation, as Nines had said, the Supreme Court is the boss with respect to notarization. We have to wait for their cue before we move forward. So it helps that we constantly engage and participate in fora. It's a collective effort. We definitely don't own the platform on this, and it's good because it's a collective. Everyone wants to move this forward, so we're contributing to that effort to move it forward.
Thanks, Attorney Mona. I'll answer the question on the tech. So by showing our tech there, we're also showing that we are using best-in-class technology, but we are definitely building on top of these. So these are our building blocks, but we are building proprietary products and solutions that, there are other e-signature products out there, but what makes Unawa's Digital Transaction Hub unique is that we bring it all together in, e-forms, e-signatures, and our notary to really give users a seamless experience that is very applicable to our situation in the Philippines.
Okay, so does anyone have any more questions for Unawa?
I did have a question. From a user experience perspective, like, is it like DocuSign sort of where you log into a separate platform, or is it, sort of agnostic, or do people download things? Like, how does it get incorporated into the various forms and types of documents, right, that typically need to be processed?
All right, I'll ask Rhea to answer that. Rhea, are you here?
Yes. For now, we have we have a platform where we put in the documents, upload the documents there, and then there's it's integrated with a workflow, and then you get to share it to certain parties that who will sign the document. So, and then we have the we have to authenticate the who signs the document. So before the authentication happens, of course, you have to you have to register your information and then sign the document, and that's already recorded in the signature vault. So it's like the process from the point of view of the user is like DocuSign. but it's we added security features through the Hyperledger blockchain technology.
And then from the point of view of the notary, they also have their own sort of account where they see what they need to process. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you saw James had a question.
Yeah, I do. I have a couple. In terms of competitors, is this a Philippines-specific competition in that, you get things from other providers from America and whatever that you sign when you're doing contracts? You're competing with those. And my other question is, in terms of Chris, the case that you gave, when will you be at the point that you can actually meet what she needs to do through your system and have the right partners on board and have the right rulings from the Supreme Court that I think at the moment you need a USB to notarize or something. So when will you be at the point she can actually get what she needs through your system?
All right, so we'll answer the first question on the competitors. So you're right that a lot of companies are using systems like DocuSign, it was already mentioned, Adobe Sign. So what makes the Onowa Digital Transaction Hub unique is that, number one, yes, it was built with Philippine laws and regulations in mind. So just in the Philippines alone, we will be able to solve pain points that are unique to our culture and our level of red tape. I mean, we've all experienced it. But the fact that the technology is there and that we have access to a network of over 200 law firms in other countries, 700 law firms in 200 countries means that we will be able to scale with the right partners in other territories. So the technology is there, and we will need to customize it for other countries as needed. But again, what makes the Transaction Hub unique is that we move from forms that are legally compliant according to Philippine laws, according to Philippine data privacy standards, and then we move into e-signatures, and then the remote notarization process is really important because, again, there are unique regulations here in the Philippines. So in terms of how we'll be able to meet Chris's needs, we will be launching the SaaS version in Q1 of 2021. So right now we're running pilots with some government agencies, and we've actually run also this with some corporate clients as well. And then Attorney Mona mentioned that we have been speaking with the Bankers Association of the Philippines, some rural banks. So the goal is for somebody like Chris to be able to access this platform by 2021. In terms of the R Notary, we are running pilots in Makati and Pasig. So the ones with higher volume transactions already this quarter. And we aim to be able to scale it to more localities.
Can we just wrap up? Quickly wrap up the
Okay, so Q1 2021.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry that we're running out of time. But thank you for your presentation. Again, thanks for sharing with us how one can start and scale their businesses and how you're trying to create a better normal for everyone. So thanks again, Unawa. Okay, so the next startup, we have Sukiplus for your presentation.
Hi, I'm Ava from Sukiplus, and our goal is to help sari-sari stores in the Philippines get access to working capital loans. What is a sari-sari store? It is the traditional convenience store found almost in every street in the Philippines. It is our pantry extension where we buy goods in very small quantities, and it also acts as a community center of sorts where we catch up with each other. There's more than 1 million of them nationwide. They're 30% of the informal economy, and they turn over 1.3 trillion worth of grocery sales every year. Majority of them are unbanked and have limited identification documents. Small merchants like them have always been underserved by financial services players, but they do need the loans. So the real question is, how do you make lending to them more efficient and less risky? How do you bridge that gap in trust? And is there alternative data that we can use to help them increase their chances in getting credit? At Sukiplus, we use supply chain data gathered through our apps to help paint a better picture of the sari-sari store's business and thus help them get access to working capital loans. Our approach at Sukiplus is to work with the sari-sari store's already existing partners in the community, their inventory suppliers. We call these inventory suppliers our vendor partners. We ask them to share data with us, refer us to customers, and vet for those that have potential to use loans. In exchange, we provide them online tools and financing for their customers. For financial institutions, we collect data related to the store owner and their business, we consolidate customers into networks, and we help monitor payments and loan use. We show banks that customers are of good credit standing, volumes are big enough, and that doing business with them will be sustainable. The loan is structured as an inventory-based line of credit. It is good for a year, and the amount is based on the sari-sari store's weekly inventory turnover, plus an upside given their current cash constraints. The agreement with the store is that the loan can only be used exclusively to buy inventory from our vendor partner, and we can monitor through our app if indeed the store maximizes the line and uses it to buy goods. How do we make money? Basically, we get a cut from the interest that the bank charges, and also we charge a one-time processing fee that's deducted from the loan proceeds. So why this idea? My co-founders and I have been working in the consumer goods industry for a long time, and we're used to dealing with sari-sari stores. My co-founder and CEO has been a previous distribution business owner for companies like Nestle, Philip Morris, and Alaska. He used to be my client while I was still working at Nestle, and then he became my boss when I transferred to join his distribution company. From our experience in selling to sari-sari stores, we know that they're a huge market and that they do have cash constraints. We also know that the distribution industry, where our vendor partners operate, is already ripe for tech disruption. Last July 2019, pre-COVID, we had our pilot for the working capital loan. We worked with 5 small vendor partners. We did the processes manually as we were still building the app then, and we used our own money to on-lend to stores. Thankfully, we had a 90+% repayment rate, and we grew our users by 23% on average. Right now, we're focusing our efforts in training our current vendor partners on how to use our apps. We've also reached out to consumer goods manufacturers and financial institutions that have already expressed interest in partnering with us. We're also working with the Asian Development Bank in piloting this project as part of our prize in winning their hackathon. For our company goals for 2020, we've started applying for our own money lending license. We're finalizing talks with e-wallet potential partners, and we're getting ready to restart our lending facility with a financial institution funder by end of the year. We're currently looking for a $250,000 investment to help us scale our operations and service 1,500 of our current vendor partner stores in Greater Metro Manila. And so we invite you to partner with us, and let's help sari-sari stores thrive and not just survive during this pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Sukiplus, for that presentation. Now may I call on Ava and the founders of Sukiplus for your Q&A session.
Go ahead, Carlo.
Hi, good afternoon. So you mentioned about the vendor partners situation. So for startups to ask for loans, they have to exclusively sell products from the vendor partners. Have there been instances where you have a Coke and a Pepsi type of, because sari-sari stores usually have, various types of products? How do you deal with that?
So right now it's true. The sari-sari stores deal with competing products. Right now we're going to focus on having a one-to-one relationship with a loan amount and a vendor, so that it decreases the risk of competing products sharing a certain loan. So basically what happens is that, for example, if you're a vendor of Coke, that 5,000 peso will only be used for Coke. And then if you have a vendor for Pepsi, there's another line that will be dedicated for that vendor. However, for simplicity's sake, to be honest, for our pilot, we're just going to work with one vendor is to one sari-sari store. In the future, it's part of the plan, but right now, our capability is to work at a one-on-one level.
Okay, and then everything sort of already aligned with your tech stack or not yet? Your pilot.
Yes. So right now, the ordering apps and the chatbot, it's fully functioning. What we have to build further in the future is the loans management side. So we're currently talking to another startup that provides loans management software so that we can use that to easily integrate to our current system. Because right now, to be honest, for the pilot, we're processing the loans manually. It's just the data collection that's done automated.
Okay, so we still have 3 minutes. So if anyone else would like to ask questions.
Can I clarify for your vendors? Who are these? What are the profiles of your vendors? Are these like small distribution companies, or are they like the Nestle's, the Coca-Colas of this world?
Yeah, so right now we're working with a vendor that distributes for a lot of Filipino manufacturers in Metro Manila. So they have, just to give you an idea, they have a customer base of around 10,000 sari-sari stores. So they're big. During our pilot, we wanted at first to work with very small vendor partners. We did that route. Eventually, we found out that the services that we offer are quite complicated, and so it's easier for bigger vendors, bigger distributors like Nestle's to adapt to this kind of system because their staff is more professionalized. So we're going that route at the moment.
But will you also be including the large sort of the rec vendors in the future, like the actual companies, or what is in the plan going forward?
Mm-hmm. To be honest, we've engaged with 2 consumer goods manufacturers, one multinational selling candies, and then one coffee based in a Southeast Asian nation. So, but these entities also work with distributors. So what happens is that we just get a blessing, in reality, a blessing from them to work with a distributor, and then the engagement is really on a distributor level.
Go ahead, Carlo.
So question on distributors. Do you work directly with the territorial distributors or the national distributors?
So right now we're focusing on territory distributors that are tied to specific companies, because that way we will also have an inroad to talking to the principals, the manufacturers, and if they like the pilot, they can implement nationally easily.
Okay. Follow-up question. Usually the profit margins for territorial distributors are usually single digits, right?
Yes.
And so how do you even try to win them over with 1 to 2% of credit? I mean, most likely that's taking a cut from their end.
So just to clarify, so the loan is for the sari-sari stores, not the customers of the vendor partners. So what happens is that the vendor partners just vet for their customers, and then the bank or the financial institution releases the loan directly to the sari-sari store. The benefit for the vendor partner to work with us is that essentially they gain loyalty among their sari-sari store customers, because traditionally sari-sari stores are not loyal to distributors because of their cash constraints. What they do is they really just buy to the most convenient vendor that's available to them. So giving these customers a loan facility enables distributors to maximize that FaceTime with their sari-sari store market.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for Sukiplus. Thank you again, Ava, for sharing with us your presentation and how Sukiplus is lending a helping hand to micro entrepreneurs and small businesses. Okay, so thanks again. And then, okay, we're actually down to the second to the last presentation. So now we have Light of Hope, PH.
Hi everyone, my name is Simin and I'm the co-founder of Light of Hope. Our team uses solar energy to bring electricity and Wi-Fi access into the homes of families who are living off the grid in the Philippines. You might find it hard to believe, but 1 in 10 people around the world still do not have access to electricity today. Here in the Philippines, 13 million Filipinos continue to live every night in the conditions you see in this photo taken by our team. They make less than $8 a day and rely on kerosene gas to light up their nights, which is not only costly, but it's also a health and fire hazard. With schools moving online due to COVID, these families are more marginalized than ever. They do not have access to electricity, much less Wi-Fi connectivity. Our team is here to tackle these challenges with them. Our product, called CloudGrid, brings solar-powered energy and Wi-Fi into their homes, allowing them to save $18 per month in energy costs, while enabling them to make $170 a month in new revenues through the reselling of energy and Wi-Fi access. CloudGrid is easily set up in under 2 hours. Families can use it to charge mobile phones and small appliances. It also lights up an LED light at home, and any excess energy can simply be used for anything else. We installed this unit 2 Sundays ago, and our friend Sir Tate here was very delighted to plug in and charge his portable charger and treated us to a live session of karaoke right then. The reselling of Wi-Fi happens in 3 easy steps. You choose a Wi-Fi package, you make your payment, and a voucher code is generated. You then key that code into your phone and you're all ready to go. The best part is, you can choose to pause this connection anytime and come back to use it later when you need it. We charge users an affordable subscription fee of $20 a month while bringing about a 4 times increase in their monthly disposable household income. Our go-to-market happens at 3 core channels. Firstly, upselling to 1,400 households who are already using Light of Hope solar lamps today. Second, we would explore partnerships with telcos for affordable Wi-Fi packages and to tap into their wide user base. Finally, we will continue to leverage on our extensive network of NGOs for funding and distribution. In the last 3 months since launch, we have already secured 2 funded pilots with the potential to scale across 2,000 units island-wide. We are asking for 100,000 in grants to launch and refine 50 units over the next 6 months. We will be using the grant to test our hardware and software functionalities and also to validate market demand for the reselling proposition. We are, of course, looking for partnerships with telcos and NGOs to support our go-to-market strategy. Our team is united by a common passion to enable lives, and we bring the right skill sets as well to execute on this mission. Jovi, our co-founder and CEO, is well recognized in the Philippines as a clean energy innovator. In 2020, he was elected as a climate reality leader and won the EWC of Optimism Award for his advocacy. I am the co-founder and CFO, and I bring to the team a wealth of experience in launching and scaling startups through my time as a venture builder at Future Labs and as a consultant at BCG. Efren, our CTO, is a brilliant full-stack developer with deep expertise in cloud and on-premise based developments. And finally, Ed, our advisor, has been instrumental in guiding our product development through his knowledge as a technical sales engineer. Together, we welcome you to join us in building communities today. Once again, we are Light of Hope. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Light of Hope, for that. Now may I call on a representative for your Q&A session. So you have 5 minutes for your Q&A. Okay, I think Rhea's raising her hand.
Yes, I have a question regarding the product. So it's basically solar panels that has a Wi-Fi capability, right? That allows the people who are using the solar panels to sell Wi-Fi. Is that correct?
Exactly. So the solar panel actually allows for the homes to get access to electricity. And we have got the software built into the router that allows them to then resell the Wi-Fi. So imagine a Wi-Fi hotspot where I could come to close enough to the box called Cloud Grid. And I could say, hey, I want to access the Cloud Grid hotspot. And then it pings on the software that it says, okay, now you need to input your voucher. But the user would have already paid made payment to the seller in order to get access to the voucher, and then they key it in.
And how much is the product? Sorry, I think I'm not sure if I missed that, but like I'm not sure how much the product is.
Right. So how much in terms of cost of the product?
Yes, the actual solar panel, or is it a different? Oh, okay, subscription fee. Okay.
Yes. So we charge users a monthly subscription fee of $20, so it's about 950 pesos per month. And that all goes into, we imagine us as renting out the unit, so we will collect this money every month.
So just to clarify that, so it's just a subscription model. So you provide the panel and the setup for free, and then you recover the cost through the subscription model.
At the moment as well, because the of course in launching a hardware and setting it up into the unit, it is a high upfront cost. So we have leveraged our partnerships with NGOs and also with funders to then fund the hardware cost at the onset, and then we continue to get the subscription fee. So they actually bore the burden of the upfront cost. But in the future, as we move into other types of business models, we are also looking at how could we subsidize the cost of the upfront fee in order to make it more affordable for the users. So as we are just, actually we're only a month into our pilot, so we're also exploring, hey, instead of charging the user a monthly fee that is built into this $20 for Wi-Fi, how about we explore revenue sharing? So they don't have to pay us for the Wi-Fi access, but we share with them a revenue of every pesos they earn through the Wi-Fi resale.
And just to understand, so then what would be the break-even point for you at a unit level? So $20 a month, when do you recover your costs for the panel and the router?
Right. At the moment, we are building all of the components in-house. Gobi, my co-founder, is a bit of a product whiz. So we've bought the components and doing it in this manner makes it extremely costly. So our cost base right now is about $550. But the great thing is that once we've gotten the prototype working and it's in development right now as we launch it on the ground, we have started to source suppliers who we could either buy the components at a more cost-efficient manner, or we would source a supplier who would help us to build the prototype at scale. But we are going to them with a model that we have already refined. So based on our initial scan of the market, we believe that we can bring the cost down by 40%. So then to answer your question, that $20 USD per month, we are looking at a break-even point of about slightly more than a year.
Does that include, just a quick follow-up to that, the Wi-Fi aspect of it? I assume you have to also subscribe or pay for the actual internet, right?
Exactly. So that's the reason why we are actually very keen on working with telcos, because we realize that with different communities, we don't actually need certain packages that are of a high consumption, so 50 gigabyte or 100 gigabyte. We wanted to be able to create a product that is more suited for the demand that is on the ground. And one of the things that one of the interesting prepaid card that we found recently is one by Gomo.ph. So that actually came much more affordable than the likes that are being offered by Globe and PLDT for now. But of course, it limits us to the coverage that they are live in. So one of the things that is core on our agenda and of our top priority is then to see whether or not we could work with telcos to derive benefits both ways.
Okay, so we have 1 more minute. So if anyone wants to ask a follow-up question.
Yeah, maybe a last question. We really couldn't read kind of your description at the bottom. So what is this calculation, of, I think I saw it elsewhere as well on another slide, of income generation?
Right. So the income generation is actually propped up by two reselling propositions. One of that is to charge your mobile phone, and the other one is to resell the Wi-Fi. So in terms of proportion, you get 1/3 of, based on this 170 USD that we said they could make per month, 1/3 of them actually come from the charging of mobile phone. So right now families who are living off the grid, they have to go to whoever is their neighbor or sari stores that have got electricity to plug it in. But during COVID, actually, you can't afford to do that, right? 3 km down the road, plug it in, wait for an hour, and then bring your mobile phone back. So there is a huge demand. Then we then charge this phone very close to your house. And we projected an average of about 15 people per day needing to charge their phone, which is something that is quite suited to the village size that we're looking at. And that gives us a monthly revenue of, actually a daily revenue of about $2, to make it simple. So that's really that's coming from the mobile charging proposition. And then there is a Wi-Fi rate. So for Wi-Fi, there's a lot of market validation that still needs to be done because we don't really know how big is that demand. So what's exciting as well is that we've launched our Wi-Fi module just last week, and we had a dashboard that we can monitor, with people coming on. So we've been quite geeking out about it. We start to see people buying 3 hour, 1 hour, and 1 hour. So all of that will help us to test and refine what kind of price point should we offer. But for this $170 projection, we project that every day a family will be able to earn $4 from about 10 people subscribing to the Wi-Fi packages across board. So some at 12 hours, most of them are at the 10 minutes rate.
Okay, so thank you so much for sharing that. Again, that was Light of Hope, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed hearing all about the innovative ways you're helping off-the-grid communities here. So thank you again. And then now we're moving on to our last presentation of the program. So now we have Grocergenie.
Hi, good day everybody. I'm Abby Victorino. I am the co-founder and managing director of Grocergenie. So a brief background about myself. I've been in the e-commerce industry since 2012, and having worked with the pioneers in the e-commerce industry here in the Philippines, I decided to start my own startup back in 2016, which is called Stylegenie. So back then we were offering personal shopping services for clothes for our customers. And this led me as well to representing the Philippines in Alibaba in China and Rice Conference in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and other accelerators in Jakarta and Singapore, also thanks to Kubo. Fast forward to 2020, and we all know what happened with the pandemic. So it led us to evolving or giving birth to a new genie, which is called Grocergenie. So who is Grocergenie? With the help of my co-founders and our 34 years combined experience in e-commerce, sales, and fintech, we managed to launch in as fast as 5 days from conception. So Grocergenie is a smart hyperlocal marketplace for essentials delivered to Filipinos. In 5 months, we have reached these milestones organically, and despite the low customer acquisition costs, we are enjoying a high average basket and a repeat rate of 60%. How did we do that? Our first wish when we launched was to have credible partner vendors as our suppliers. So thanks to the restaurants who were then forced to do online transactions and close off their brick and mortar stores. And thanks as well to the farmer groups, fishermen groups, and even marketplaces or niche marketplaces who collaborated with us. We have over 5,000 SKUs in the platform at the moment. Our second wish is to have strategic marketing affiliates to help us go to market organically and with minimum Facebook ad budget. So with the help of the banks and even reseller platforms, we managed to get over 35,000 new users in less than 5 months. Our third wish was, of course, to come up with a business model that works. And unlike other marketplaces, we have our own logistics platform to contract with freelance writers and share revenues with partner hubs to save on overhead expenses. This gives us 10 to 30% platform sales commissions, and of course, shipping fees and other fees that we get from B2C retail and B2B wholesale, respectively. Our dream is to have one partner hub per city so we can showcase world-class local products in every town. This way, we can also serve our customers the most fastest delivery time and grant more wishes across different categories. The last 5 months is definitely challenging and rewarding, but we are just getting started. 2 weeks ago, we launched our mobile app on Android and soon on iTunes as well. So we are doing this so we can improve our services by cashless and contactless ordering, referral program and loyalty points, and of course, real-time communication with our customers through our chat support. We're very early in the game, but with so much more magic ahead of us. So our ask is at $93,000 US in exchange of 25% equity to ROI in 5 years. So if you're ready to join us in uplifting Filipino lives through new retail commerce, please join us, and I'm glad to answer your questions. Let's grant more wish list. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. So now, now it's time for your Q&A session with the judges. So we'll be giving you 5 minutes for that.
Thank you. Sorry if it's a bit noisy.
Hi, Abby. Abby, I'll ask the first question, but what's your key challenge to scaling at the moment? Is it finding enough pickers slots? Is it growing your customer base? What side of the market? What's your biggest challenge at the moment?
Right now, it's actually growing our customer base. As mentioned, we're still organically growing our customer base, and this is why we're raising money to actually spend it on marketing initiatives.
Maybe also, this is a very exciting space right now, right? I think we're seeing like a bust, so which also makes it fairly competitive. And I was kind of trying to see, on the platform, what kind of makes you stand out, and and just linked to kind of the earlier question of that customer base, right? There's a lot of competition, so how are you going to kind of go after that and distinguish yourself?
Right. I always get that question. Thank you.
Sure.
So it's a highly competitive space, and having been in the industry for a long time, I know that to scale, the revenue streams that we have right now is actually just the first level, or the first layer, and which is platform commission, service fees, and shipping fees. But no marketplace can survive with just that. And to sustain our business, we're actually we have three key revenue streams. So one is our partner hubs, which is a one hub per city. So we are working on giving more opportunities as well, business opportunities for the likes of our first two hubs, which are closed businesses, and instead of being an empty space not earning money, we converted it to a small grocery hub. Second is owning the organic market, or the organic produce. In the Philippines, there's still no clear standard of what organic is, and we want our long-term goal is to really not just deliver goods, but deliver healthy products to each table. And this is why all the other categories can be automated through our dropshipping platform, but we internally we want to own the organic space, or the organic farming space, and this is why as early as now we're planting seeds in with our partners, which are organic fertilizers and such.
Third is to grow the different categories. So we want to be the most complete platform. We're even adding office supplies and stuff. So all the categories that are essentials right now, not just food and groceries, but even everything that you need, even Style Genie could become part of this again. So yeah, those are the three things that we are looking to be our advantage.
I mean, hi Abby. Obviously we've known each other for some time, and I do want to kind of point out also that maybe there is an opportunity also for you to look into, tapping being, I mean, most shoppers, especially in this space, are women, right? And like there is, I believe, as a female-led kind of organization, an opportunity for you to look into, how, the psychology behind it, or sort of linking your background with the Style Genie side, right, into get the, differentiating yourself from that perspective as well. And I don't know, like it just kind of what Priya mentioned triggered that sort of thought for me also. But yeah, and yeah, I guess in terms of growth, right, like how do you see yourself sort of continuing to grow this after this sort of lockdown period? Like, do you see like a seasonality to this model, or how do your plans look like?
Yeah, so we launched 5 months ago, and the first 4 months actually it was 80% B2C or customers and 20% corporate clients. The employers sending care packs to their employees working from home. And now that it's September, we're actually getting now 40% corporate who are as early as September already preparing to send corporate Christmas baskets to their employees. So there's a shift, I would say, and as with all the rest of e-commerce or marketplaces, I think Christmas season is really big. So I wouldn't say it's just about the COVID or pandemic. It's really it depends on how you play around, and for us it's banking on the Christmas season the last 4 months of the year. So and then of course the next year when things are more stable, we're pretty excited to grow the other categories in the organic space as mentioned earlier.
Actually, I want to ask something as a follow-up to that. I actually had a very similar thought where I feel that the Philippine sort of like regular consumer is still very much, going to the physical store and like buying things. And a lot of people also have regular like supermarkets that they frequent. And I think like during this time, it was purely out of need that, everyone's suddenly like shopping online. So that being said, like once lockdown finishes, like do you foresee any risks, right? I mean, I understand what you mentioned about Christmas season, but that's also another seasonal thing. So what about the day-to-day like shopper? How are you guys sort of preparing to mitigate for this potential fallout? Or during this time, have you done any market research, or have you observed any like general kind of like new trends to help with this? Can you share a little bit more?
Yeah, so for our type of customers, I think I forgot to mention that we don't do COD, and I guess that's why the quality, we are sort of proud to maintain the quality of customers as well, which are 70% credit card holders. And we noticed that once they try the service, they really go back like every week or every 2 weeks. And these are the type of families that are buying in bulk for their, for a week's worth or for 2 weeks worth of groceries for the family. So I guess for us, the challenge is really now getting more new customers, because somehow we know that our existing users are really happy with the service. So I guess it's really more of providing better value, better convenience, and rewards program to keep them intact or keep them from coming back.
Okay, so 5 minutes are up already. So thank you again, Abby of Grocergenie. I'm sure people here were inspired by how you're able to pivot during the pandemic. So thanks again for presenting.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, that's it. That ends all our pitches for today. We had Edufied, Interluken, Nanolabs, Reach 52, Checkmate, Unawa, Sukiplus, Light of Hope, and of course, Grocergenie. So unfortunately, Workbean, one of the teams that was supposed to pitch, was not able to attend today due to personal reasons. So that's why we're having 9 startups compete today. So yeah, thank you again to all the startups who participated in She Loves Tech Philippines. So now I'll be asking all the judges to move to the conference room for their deliberation. Okay. So while that's happening, we actually have 2 special guests who will talk about exciting upcoming initiatives for our female founders. Okay, so first, we would like to call on John Aguilar of The Final Pitch to share a few words about their upcoming initiatives.
Thanks, Morella. Hi, everyone. I heard most of your pitches. Congratulations for making it to the top 10. I'd like to say hi and credit, in particular, Nanolabs. I was able to mentor their group prior to them pitching today. So, Lynn, are you here? Are you here, Lynn?
Hi. Yes, po.
Hi, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Sir John.
Yes, Lynn. Night and day. That was a big leap from what you presented when I was able to hear your pitch. So congratulations. Back then you sounded like a really bad telemarketer, but today you kind of sounded like even like a newscaster. So kudos to you for the
Thank
big
you so much, Sir John, for all your comments and suggestions.
Yes, congratulations. And to everyone else, I heard most of your pitches, and well, I'm here to just say hello, and also to extend an open invitation for you to also possibly try out for our upcoming season of The Final Pitch. This is the 6th season, which is going to be a special edition because it's a Heroes edition that we've lined up. And for those of you who are not familiar with our show, maybe I can just share this with you. So The Final Pitch is the Philippines' first business reality show, and it's airing on CNN Philippines. It's been going on for about 5 seasons now, and I'll share with you now the opening billboard of our recently concluded 5th season.
My name is John Aguilar, and I'm a serial entrepreneur based in Manila, Philippines. I've gathered 5 illustrious investors looking to fund and support the next great real estate play. Chet Yu, millennial dealmaker and CEO of property advisory firm Prime Philippines. Cesar Wee, CEO of fast-rising real estate development group, We Community Developers. Victor Consunhi, founder and CEO of innovative modern homes developer, Victor Consunhi Development Corporation. Carrie Lagdameo, first vice president of Davao-based property development firm, Demosaland. And George Royeca, chief transport advocate of the beloved motorcycle hailing app, Angkas. Our goal is to find the best properties and urban solutions and forge joint ventures that will change the landscape of Philippine real estate. Many will try, but only a few will make it to the final pitch.
So that was the recently concluded 5th season. The show by itself is like a cross between 3 shows. It's like The Voice, The Apprentice, and Shark Tank combined. And what happens is at the start of the season, the entrepreneurs who pitch, the startups who pitch, are chosen by the investor judges who then invite them to be part of their quote unquote teams. It's like The Voice in that way, in that whoever they choose at the start, they can potentially invest in at the finale during the final pitch. So once they're on board, we introduce mentors to them who help them in the different aspects of running their businesses and also in preparation for their finale, for their final pitch. So for our upcoming Heroes edition, Kubo is one of the mentors. So if you are interested in becoming part of that season, well, you know how these ladies work, and I'm sure whatever it is that you've learned from them, you'll be able to apply in the show. So we also work very closely with our investors who give business challenges to our contestants. Unfortunately for this season, because of COVID, we will not be able to do this format, because the upcoming format is going to be more like Shark Tank. So in the 5 seasons that we've had on CNN Philippines, we were very successful in funding numerous startups. And for the upcoming Heroes Edition, we are looking for entrepreneur startups who are going to be pitching new normal solutions, innovations that are going to address the challenges of this new world we live in right now, that is going to be responsive to COVID, as well as the new things that we have to think of as we live in this new society. So apart from the startups who will be pitching, we're also opening up the show this season to CSR projects, organizations who have funding requirements that they would like to pitch on the show. So this is going to be soon. We're actually slated to produce it by late November. So we will make an announcement by next month, early next month, during the press conference of our call out, and also the announcement of who the new investors are for this season. So if you're interested, please just go to our website, thefinalpitch.ph. The application forms are there, so you can fill it up, submit to us your 1-minute pitch video, and we'll take it from there. So good luck, guys, and good luck with whoever wins this pitch today. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks again, John, for that presentation. Yeah, that was very exciting, and we can't wait to see what the final pitch has in store next. So as John mentioned, if you guys are interested in the Heroes Edition, yeah, don't pass up on this opportunity and head over to the Final Pitch's website. Hi. Hello.
Yes, David.
Okay. All right. That's enough. That's enough.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you again, John.
Thanks, everyone. Good luck.
Okay. So, that was John Aguilar. So next we have Carlo Calimon for his community partner segment. So he is the president and co-founder of Startup Village.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Marella. Pleasure to be here, and always happy to be a supporter of the startups who are here today. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate all of the startups for doing a great job. I was very happy as well with the mentees that we helped out. But more importantly, everybody did a good job, and you're doing great things in your respective spaces. So just a quick preview of who we are and what we do. I'm just sharing my screen right now. So Startup Village, we're a startup enabler. We've been an avid supporter and partner of Kubo and the different initiatives that we have, because at the end of the day, we believe that we all have to work together in order to elevate and raise the startup ecosystem here in the Philippines. And for us, what we basically do is we focus on being able to develop, educate, mentor, and provide linkages to the startups or the next generation of innovators and disruptors in the country. And our role is basically to make sure that everybody's prepared to take advantage of the opportunities and face the different challenges they're going to be encountering. So I'll make this quick. I just wanted to share some of the initiatives that we have. So to our friends out there, to those who are pitching, and to those who are watching, Startup Village conducts weekly pitching activities called Breakthrough. This happens every Tuesday at 5 p.m. So we have our friends from the different industries, funds, both locally and internationally, who are present during these pitches. So if you're interested, please sign up. You can visit our Facebook page, Startup Village page, to learn more, and we'd be happy to feature you. We only feature around 2 to 3 startups per week, so it's always exciting, so that you can interact and ask questions and be asked questions as well. So in those cases, we're not rushing, right? But it's a good way to really get to know each other, and at the same time get to know the people who would like to work with you or invest in you. Also, we're going to be launching the Startup Village Startup Challenge during Philippine Startup Week. So happy enough to encourage everybody to join us. We're just updating the materials, but yeah, excited to have everybody there join us. So if you have want to learn more about this, please send us a message and watch out. We'll be launching this soon. So watch out and sign up for this as well. Also, as part of our ongoing initiatives to educate the next generation of startups, we'd like to invite everybody to join us for our weekly Village Talks and Guru series. These are webinars that we have on a regular basis, featuring not just professors, but practitioners as well, who can give insights on how to address concerns and issues that you may encounter in your respective businesses, while at the same time also leveling up in the process, right? So we've been doing this since March, and we've been doing it on a very, very regular basis. So always good to see some of the people pitching who are part of our panel as well. Good friends, by the way. At the same time, I'm also happy to announce that our next batch of the Gifts Online students will be open, right? This is our startup program where we've opened this cohort already. So if you want to sign up, it's a 14-week program that basically takes you through the rigors of what you will need to become successful startup entrepreneurs. So if you want to join us, please check out our Facebook page as well and sign up for the program. All right, so just some pictures from our previous cohorts and some of the notable people who've joined us. So it's always exciting to be a part of their respective startup journeys. Okay, so with that, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me personally. You can contact me through my email or chat with us through our Facebook page, and we'd be more than happy to answer your questions there. So with that, I'd just like to once again congratulate our friends from Kubo, from She Loves Tech, and to all the startups who pitched today. Congratulations, you did a wonderful job. And keep on hustling, keep on growing your respective startups. And if you need any help, Startup Village is always there to help you guys out. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. Sorry, if we may ask, like, since you were part of the mentors as well, like what your mentoring experience was like, especially now that this She Loves Tech competition was online. So if you don't mind sharing with the audience what it was
Sure.
like for you.
Well, mentoring has always been a part of what I do on a daily basis. So it was a great experience as always. I think that, more than anything, we have to remember that learning is a two-way street. So it's always good to not just share what we know, but I'm always also eager to learn from the startups that we're mentoring as well, especially if these are new startups that we haven't met before. So it's always good to connect, reconnect, exchange ideas, give feedback, but also receive feedback. But more importantly, I enjoy the fact that I also learn about the different things that other people are doing, right? And that's what makes being part of the startup ecosystem very exciting, because, the people that we meet, the people that we try to help, are always innovating and making things better than they were before. So there's always that, there's always something new. It's never, a stagnant space. And meetings are always exciting, whether it's an exchange of ideas or even just an exchange of knowledge. Or there are times also, not saying that it was with this group, but with previous groups, there's also, those clashing of minds, which, can be very productive as well, right? So having it online though is also very different. Obviously, you'd like to do some of these things face to face. I've been helping out with Kubo also in terms of, before the pandemic, being an available mentor to the teams that go through the Kubo doors. But at the end of the day, the nice thing about being online is that, no matter where you are, you can always connect, right? You don't have to be in the same geographic location. Even if, you're far out in a distant location, you can still talk to each other and communicate and help each other out. So it was always, it's a great experience as always.
Yeah, so thank you so much. That was really nice to hear. And yeah, like you said, She Loves Tech was also able to reach more people because this is also happening virtually. Yeah, so as Carlo mentioned, there are a bunch of events coming up also for Startup Village. So yeah, just follow them on their social media accounts as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So since the judges are about to end their deliberation, we'll be having a quick break just to wait for them. Okay, so we'll see you in a few minutes. hi again. Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, so the judges are all back from their deliberation, and yeah, a decision has finally been made. I'm sure it wasn't an easy one. So thank you again to all the judges for participating today. And yeah, before we announce the winner, we just like to take this moment to have a photo opportunity. So may we ask everyone participating to turn on their cameras so we can see everyone. Okay, so is everyone ready? So the way we do it here in Kubo is I'll be counting down from 3, and then when everyone's ready, we'll be asking you to do your best cute pose, whatever that looks like. Yeah, so okay, so let me know if everyone's ready. So I'll start already. Okay, so okay, on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, cutie. Okay, so okay, Carla's usually better at this. But anyway, yeah, so thank you again to everyone. Yeah, I think everyone's back already. So yeah, so sorry, I'll just wait for the slides to load. But
Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, again, thank you to all the startups also for participating in this year's She Loves Tech. So yeah, it is finally the moment that we've all been waiting for. So to explain how we're doing this year's awarding, may now call on Rhea C again to explain.
Thank you, Marilla. As Marilla mentioned, it was a tough deliberation. But before we announce the top 3 winners, I'd like to share a little bit some of the prizes or what's coming next for the winners today from the She Loves Tech side. So the first place winner today will be moving on to represent the Philippines in the global competition. So participating in the 3-day boot camp happening in November, the semifinals, which is a private demo day in front of investors as well as corporate innovation leads from all over the world, finals, and of course like the grand conference, all happening in November. Aside from the equity cash prize, weighting the first place globally, the global top 10 will be matched with special mentors one-on-one for 2 months post-competition. These mentors are going to be partners from top funds globally, billion-dollar fund like Monks Hill, Gobi, etc. While the top 3 today will be receiving post-competition advisory from She Loves Tech, so this after the competition, and access to exclusive programming and resources like our monthly office hour series, exclusive curriculum, AWS credits, as well as being invited to the semifinal event as well, where you'll get to network with investors from all over the world. And we'll be revealing other prizes as well for the top 3 after we finish all of the competition. So I hope everyone kind of tune in for that. Thank you. Back to you, Marilla.
Okay, so thank you for that, Priya. Yeah, so again, it's all super exciting. We'll actually be announcing the top 3. So now may I call back on our virtual stage, Kat of Kubo, to announce the 3rd place.
So virtual drum roll. Our 3rd place winner for She Loves Tech Philippines 2020 is Grocergenie and Abby Victorino. Congratulations, Abby. I know the 3rd time's the charm. We're so excited that the pitch keeps getting better and better. We also really want to commend you for your, fantastic pivot during COVID. We see a lot of potential in your business, and we also feel very strongly that, this opportunity to join the bootcamp and be part of, this Chinese thing with, the largest e-commerce market, right, is going to be an amazing opportunity for you. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
So congrats, Abby of Grocergenie. Up next, I'll now be calling on Priya for the second place.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much, Marla. Again, so it was tough, guys. It was really tough, and we really appreciate all of you. But the top two, I'm very happy to say, is Reach 52 and Lee Jen. We really just loved, we loved the model and the impact that you're creating. So congratulations.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
back to you,
thank
Marella.
Okay, so congrats, Reach 52. Okay, sorry, hold on. Yeah, so to announce our grand winner of this year's She Loves Tech Philippines, I'll now be calling Rhea back to announce.
So our winner this year is, again, virtual drum roll, is Sukiplus. Congratulations. We had a really tough time deliberating and discussing and really, going deep into everything, really, all of the factors that went into like judging. And in the end, we chose Sukiplus because we feel like you could really represent the Philippines in terms of, technology you're building, the market that exists here in the Philippines, as well as all the underserved communities here. So we're very, very excited, and we hope that, you go far in a competition and receive a lot of, resources and opportunities as well to, grow this even more and to gain more traction. So congratulations. And yeah, look forward to, I guess, having you in the following rounds.
Okay, so again, congrats to our top three, Grocergenie, Reach 52, and of course, the Sukiplus for being the grand winner. I'd like to ask if someone from Sukiplus would like to share a few words with us. Like, how are you feeling knowing that you'll be representing the Philippines for this year's She Loves Tech?
So happy. That's it right now. So happy. And very much looking forward to the support that we'll get. We need a lot of feedback, especially from corporate partners and potential investors. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, so again, thank you so much. You'll be, aside from having the opportunity to pitch and represent the Philippines in the international stage, you'll also be able to network with China's leading tech ecosystem, participate in a high-level bootcamp workshop of She Loves Tech, and of course, receive tickets to Web Summit, which are sponsored by DTI. So again, congrats again to everyone who participated, and yeah, a virtual round of applause to everyone. I wish we could do this in person. But yeah, thank you again, everyone. And also, we would like to thank again our community partners. So BrainSparks, Gobi Partners, TTI, Main, Patamar Capital, Spark Up, Startup Village, The Final Pitch, and Villgro Philippines. So this competition would not have been possible without our partners. So thank you again. So yeah, that basically ends this year's local round for She Loves Tech. Thank you again to all the participants today. You don't know how much this means to everyone, to all the judges also, thank you, and our mentors who took part also. So good luck to Sukiplus again in the next round and in representing the Philippines. So thanks everyone.
Congrats,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. Congrats.
Guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, Carlo.